Today at Main Street Service Center, we're working on a customer's vehicle who he just bought the vehicle. He's a customer we've had for quite a while, but on this particular vehicle he just did purchase it, so he brought it in so we could do an oil and filter change on it and just do an overall inspection on it. We do that quite a bit as customers bring their new vehicles in to get them checked out, and they just say, hey, we just want it thoroughly checked, as you guys always do. This particular Jeep is a really nice looking Jeep. He's done really well as far as finding a really nice looking one. It looks like it's been fairly well maintained. It's got about 100,000 miles on it. And so what we found out is that it definitely was due for a tune-up. Most vehicles nowadays, their spark plugs are designed and engineered to go about 100,000 miles. However, there's a lot of Chryslers out there and Jeep products out there that they're still putting in the original type spark plugs from years ago, and they still need to be replaced about every 30,000 miles. So if you've got a Jeep or a Chrysler product, you might want to have that checked and make sure that your spark plugs aren't due to be changed, because if they are, of course your fuel economy could be decreased, your drivability could be, your performance could be depleted. So anyway, just might want to have that checked with whoever services your vehicle. And if you don't have a service provider, of course Main Street Service Center would love to do that for you. What we did find during the service job is the fact that he does need the spark plugs did need to be replaced. In fact, it looked like they were probably original. So he's going to be really excited about fuel mileage that he's going to be getting. We also did things like flushing the radiator, and there's some fluid levels that need to be serviced. Also, he was wanting his brakes inspected, and turns out that he needed brakes all the way around. His front rotors were okay, but the brake pads were worn out, and in the back, turns out that this was actually a tow vehicle that in its former life had been towed behind an RV of some sort, and in that particular case, the brakes were also being used to help slow the vehicle down behind the RV. So the back brakes actually were a whole lot worse. The rotors had big grooves in them, the wheel cylinders were leaking, the hardware kit was all rusted up, and so we wound up doing a complete brake job on the back and then replacing the pads and turning the rotors up front for him. All the brake hoses looked really good at this point. But anyway, so if you're in a situation where you've just recently bought a vehicle, you really don't know what the history of it is and would like to know what kind of shape it is and what things may need to be done in the near future, so you don't have any really costly breakdowns or something like that, come by 620 Goblin Drive. We'll be happy to do a vehicle inspection for you, advise you on anything that we know about a certain type of vehicle that you may want to be aware of, and definitely be able to give you estimates on those type of repairs or maintenances as they're needed. 620 Goblin Drive. Our phone number is 741-4252. Give us a call. We'd love to take care of it.
See our ad in names and numbers.